Probably just a bonus one. I was looking into the words of afflict, This is Leviticus chapter 16, verse 29. And this shall be a statute forever unto you, that in the 7th month and the 10th day of a month, I believe this is the Day of Atonement, where you fast. And it says, ye shall afflict your souls, and do not work at all, whether it be one of your own country or a stranger that sojourneth among you. Basically an Israelite that was born in a different land. That's the stranger talking about. But it says, ye shall afflict your souls. What does that mean? Afflict your soul. Now the definition I showed you, one of the definitions I showed you of the soul or souls in the Napash, it even had the word appetite. And appetite was mainly is mainly used for relating to your consumption of food or water or drinking. You might have like French or Portuguese, Spanish people saying bon appetit and stuff like that. Saying, to enjoy your meal, have a good meal, have a good appetite. Yeah? Petit, appetite, similar. And it says, ye shall afflict your souls. Yeah, so how do you afflict your appetite? Yeah? You ain't gonna have a good meal if you're not eating, right? So there you go. Afflicting your soul, afflicting your appetite, abstaining from food and water when you fast. Which is one of the definitions I showed you. I believe in the blue letter. Yeah. So fasting is afflicting your souls. And I believe 2 years ago or a year ago, you had one, I don't know if it was a bug out, I can't remember, but someone tried to say, oh, you don't have to fast in the Day of Atonement. Well, you got to explain what does afflict your souls mean. How do you afflict your soul? Because that sounds like a sacrifice to me. And it is. Yeah. And I'm going to say it again, one of the definitions of souls is appetite. So how do you afflict your appetite? Abstaining from carnal consumption, man. Like food and water. Oh yeah, and I looked into the word afflict. And it said the word humble, I believe. Aina. Yeah, Aina. That's how you pronounce it. Aina. Should be I. Yeah. To be occupied, be bruised with, to afflict, oppress, humble. Be afflicted, be bowed down. To humble oneself. To be afflicted, be humble, to humble. Humiliated, humble. Weaken oneself. How do you weaken yourself? When you don't eat or consume enough calories, average males, I believe, 2 to 2,000 calories a day intake. They tell you if you don't consume enough food, which is like revenue for the calories, energy, yeah. Calories is also used as energy. If you don't consume enough calories, food, or energy, you are what? You're gonna be weak. When you fast, you're making yourself weak because you don't have enough energy because you're not consuming food or drink. So that's how you weaken yourself. Yeah, but that's something else. Well, I just picked that up right now from scriptures, but Rockfire, yeah, but Shimshai was a spirit. But yeah, to humble. If you notice, you can see it's always saying humble. Look, to humble oneself. It's saying humble, 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 humiliated, humbled. And that's spiritual, because we just read previously in the previous video to this in the book of Psalms. And what did it say? But as for me, Psalms 35:13. As for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth. I humbled my soul with fasting. He weakened himself, humbled. Yeah? That word humble is related to fasting. You know? And my prayer returning to my own bosom. Psalm 69:10. When I wept, I chastened my soul with fasting. There's another word for saying humbled. Chastened is like tamed. You know, when you get a wild horse, you tame it to become your pet. You humble it. My soul with fasting. That was to my reproach. Oh, more keeps coming out. Remember, it says to weaken oneself, right? This is the spirit, man. This is beautiful. Remember, it said to weaken oneself, right? We looked it up. It says, look, Psalms 109, verse 24. This is the spirit, man. It said, my knees are weak through fasting, and my flesh faileth of fatness. My flesh faileth of fatness. Why? Because this is beautiful, man. Why? Because when you consume, and when you consume food, and like say you have some fatty food, or you have food that contains, I believe, salt or sugar, which then turns into fat, yeah, the fatness, the body uses the fatness as fuel or energy to burn off, to use as energy. Yeah. So when you're fasting, whatever fat is in you, your body is utilizing it. It's burning it off. It's using that as fuel or energy. Yeah. You're relying on your body fat instead of you consuming and putting extra layers of fat or calories, especially if you didn't exercise. You know. So when your body is on starvation mode, where you're not eating, the body naturally is gonna dig deep to your body and get as much fat as it can to survive for how long it can. I believe about 3 days. You know, but that's beautiful. That's spiritual right there. Yeah. Psalms 109 verse 24. My knees are weak through fasting. That's how you weaken yourself. To weaken oneself. We read the definition. Yeah, and it said humbling as well. We read that. Yeah. I humbled my soul with fasting, and prayer returned to my own bosom. And chastened my soul with fasting. Chasten is another word of humbling or taming. And we read the definition that says to weaken oneself, and it says Psalms 109:24. My knees are weak through fasting, and my flesh faileth of fatness. Yeah, and my flesh faileth of fatness. Yeah, because you need fat to survive. You need fat around your body. You need those calories to survive. That's what your body burns and uses energy. Oh man, this is beautiful, man. I'm just like realizing this as I'm, going for the scripture. Me personally, I'm trying to get into fasting more often. Well, not like every day, whatever spirit has it as, but to do more. Because there's going to be times where you're going to be forced to fast, man. Not only a famine of the word, but a famine of food and water, literally as well, the physical famine. Because when the society goes down, UK, you got the EU and shit like that, collapsing of economies all around the world, collapsing of money,
collapsing of stores, the shops closing down, less workers, issuing more self-services and robots, AI, androids, whatever device Esau, the so-called white man, wants to use. You know, and it's just going to be less of stuff, shortage of stuff. So fasting is going to be necessary, man, believe it or not. But yeah, I'm going to read 3 of them again and close it. Psalms 35 verse 13. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth. I humbled my soul with fasting, and my prayer returned into my own bosom. Psalm 69:10. When I wept and chastened my soul with fasting, that was to my reproach. Psalms 109:24. My knees are weak through fasting, and my flesh faileth of fatness. So that, I think that's part 4 there. Beautiful. Lord willing, I do more on this fasting and prayer, you know, like Yahushua, his experience in the book of Matthew chapter 4, and him communicating and talking with Satan. But yeah, with that, hope you've been edified. Hope this encourages you to fast. You know, in the first video there was benefits of fasting in the physical aspect, but also there's a spiritual aspect as well. You know, the Lord hears you, you know, because you're making a sacrifice for him. Because basically you're saying, look, fuck what I like, fuck what I desire, fuck what I'm used to, fuck what's comfortable to me. Let me surrender that and, you know, receive whatever spiritual thing you have for me. You know, we can see it like that. Well, first I'd like to say Barak Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, the bonus to elders and apostles, blessings to the elect, the 1/3, men, women, children, blessings, shalom.